Now, around that same time where you, let's go a little bit detailed. When you had to leave Radio Gold, you know, the package was good, right?
Yeah.
The money was good. It was like, and it actually also came with, you know, you moving to Star, not Live.
Yes, not Live. Yes.
Not Live.
Yes.
But then there was an issue that happened as well. You know, with Africa Regent Hotel, where there was a young lady who alleged, you know, a certain rape case and everything. And when you didn't go on Star FM, people said you were being penalized because of the issues that were, you know, being said about you, because you know you had a law, you had a law case that you had to.
Well, I didn't have a law case.
It was KKD, but your name was in there as well.
Somehow I never got called to the courts. You know, but somehow we felt that eventually I could be called to court.
Is that why you were not put on Star?
I think so. Some of our friends, you know, said, Charlie, EIB in itself was a news station that was had emerged and doing well for itself, and they didn't want to be associated with anything like that. I totally understood. So we don't know what the outcome of this case is going to be. I mean, I wasn't guilty of anything. If anything, it was, yes, I was the owner of the hotel room, had given it to my friend Benny Blanco to use, and then whatever happened, you know, transpired. So let's get Kofi to Live FM. Let's see how things go. And then if he's never called to court, if he's not guilty of anything, then we get him on Star FM. So that is exactly what happened.
Were you broken by that decision?
It was just an unfortunate sheer coincidence, because, you know, in that same year, that's when I had the accident on the N1. You know, so a lot of things were happening around that same time, like a near life-threatening accident on the N1, and then, you know, prior to that accident, there's rape case that had me in there somehow, you know. So it was for me my lowest point in life, you know. That also ultimately kind of affected my relationship with my big brother. Yeah. But we're good now. I mean, family, we all go through highs and lows. Even the Jackson 5.
He felt he disappointed you?
Yeah, he felt I disappointed him. Wow. I think it was a thing of miscommunication. Yeah.
That's KKD,
you know,
right?
He thought I should have been out there speaking for him. But, I mean, who speaks better than KKD? Somehow, he had an opportunity to speak to what happened, which he did. I didn't think there was anything for me to add, you know, and that was it. Because then again, initially, my name was not in the news. Everything was centered around him. And I'm also pretty newsworthy, you know, so once somehow my name trickled into the story, people were like, okay, so this is a different twist to it. Let's see what he is guilty of. And obviously I wasn't, you know, but it really affected us, but we're good now.
You're good?
Yeah.
How did you solve the problem?
I mean, family, we have to, it's my big brother, if he thinks I've...
So you just walked up to him and spoke to him?
It's not too hard for me to apologize to people. What does it change? You know, and where we come from a dance, we're shanties, you know, we're taught to apologize when our elders think we faulted. And as a younger brother, you do that with no apology.
How did he take it?
What would
initially?
He say? I mean, they don't like that. You let it go. You let it go. Yeah.
So finally, you went on Star.
So finally, I went on Star.
After how many years?
I think 2 years.
After 2 years.
Because then again, I was really needed at Live FM. You know, things happen. For me, it's also affected a lot of things that I do now. Do you understand? Some of these guys from Live FM have become part of what I do to date. So sometimes we can't understand God's ways, you know, how he orchestrates things. When it's a low moment for us, we are not happy, obviously, because, you know, we're human, but then God always makes a way, and some of these guys have become part of me. Eventually, I went on Star FM when I think Bolare decided he was done. I was going to take care of the administrative work of EIB and who did I take over from? Nashoko. Yeah. Okay, right. Right, you were there, so you remember everything. Yes, Nashoko. Right. From the mid-morning show.
Yes, exactly. The mid-morning show.
And originally I was supposed to do the drive, not mid-morning. Yes. So mid-morning, and then eventually I got on the drive show.
Now, you know, you left in 2020.
Yes.
What made you leave?
Well, you know, it was COVID time. We had some very low moments at EIB, but I was always going to be probably the last person to leave. You know, it was something that was known in the public domain. We were having challenges to take care of things because our cash cow, Unibank, had been shut down. We went through, you know, some very turbulent moments. I was interested in us running the company like, or the entity like any other media organization. Go out there, look for the the deals like all the other stations do, and then, you know, let's go toe to toe. And we had the capacity because we had some of the finest people around as well. And the president was about to announce a national lockdown during COVID. We had some outstanding funds that had not been paid from our salaries, and you know, whenever I got to the station, I'd see people standing in pockets. I knew what was happening. I'd seen this before at Radio Gold, you know, so I knew that things were not going too well. So I called my brother, Bolore, like, Charlie Kwabna, dear Kosono, you know, let's not go through the typical general meeting, you know, HR is going to say all the fine things, all the fine grammar, whatever, you Charlie, forget about it. Let's find the key people within the space, have a one-on-one with them. And then he agreed, you know, so I created a WhatsApp page with him, myself, Francis Aban, John Jermaine, I think Cookie, DJ Vioski, a couple of other people. And we expressed our grievance. And he said there was no money at the time to take care of people. I mean, I was going to survive somehow to a certain extent. But I was thinking about people like the typical, let's say your crew here, your cameraman,
who don't have
your
anything.
Reporters, because even though I worked on EIB, I still had my side gigs. And journalists who went out to report, and even though I'm not a great advocate of Solid, but it takes care of them somehow, and they get some Solid from out there. And if someone works and they've not been paid for 3 months and they still show up at work, it means there's something that's cushioning them. And we're gonna go home. I didn't know how long we're gonna be home. And I'm asthmatic. And in the day, we also didn't know, you know, COVID. People were dying. I mean, God really took care of Africa.
Yeah.
So I told Bola that I was gonna leave, take a walk until things went down. I was taking a leave without pay. I mean, I was taking a leave without pay.
How many months were you being owed?
Okay, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I was
3, 4, 5, 6. We'll take 6.
Yeah, okay. one of them. You know, so I took a walk, and then he, we're cool. I got a call from someone telling me that, oh, Charlie, I say, my planning could be or EIB now only John Jermaine that more instigate here at the end, and I said, oh, then cool. And it was someone very close to the Dufour family. And like, oh, they're cool. Like I narrated, you know, the situation. So I thought Bola had to deal with it. He was on that platform. It wasn't like he was on his blind side. No, he was actually in there. So I called Bola. Like, Charlie, these people are here. They say, oh, coffee party, oh yeah, UTD and coffee. And that's the kind of relationship I have. Bola is not my friend. He's my brother. You know, so I let it go. I'm home. And then he called me another time and says, Charlie, listen. Now we have a challenge paying bills. This is what I'm suggesting. I want you to go off Star FM. I had a show running, hanging out with KOD on GH1 TV. So you're still part of the family, but leave Star FM and have the show running on TV, which was good news to me. Because then again, my wife had been calling Bola like, Charlie, you know, our children attend the same school, we're family. She kind of, you understand?
Yeah.
And I'd go to 1957, I'd leave, probably get there around 9 o'clock, I'll leave around midday and go get ready for my radio show. But you're not bringing anything out from it. Do you understand? And then, you know, I'm losing out. There are people who would want to deal with, my business is suffering. So she wanted me to really focus on what we're doing, and it makes sense as a family. So it was great news. I took a walk. We signed a mutual separation document, still in my car somehow. And then that was it. So that's how I left.
Okay.
And then, you know, typically we all do that when you're leaving one station to the other.
But when you left, the others also left.
Well, so
on the
I
platform.
think it was the same kind of thing. Around John Jermaine and I left around the same time.
Yeah.
Other people had left before us.
Okay.
But when we posted on social media that we had left the EIB group, Charlie, EIB was just tired of everyone was leaving, you know. So one of the local radio stations had a show and said, oh, you know, Charlie, what's really happening at EIB? The guys are all leaving. And then I'm told the presenter, I didn't listen to it. The presenter said, oh, they didn't leave, they were sacked.
Yes, so that's what I want to ask.
Exactly, they were sacked.
Were some of them sacked?
I don't think anyone was sacked. No, I don't think anyone was sacked.
DJ, so how come that almost everybody on that platform left at the same time?
Yeah, but
now, Varosky left.
Okay.
Blow left. John Jermaine.
No, I think Blow left much later.
Okay.
But,
John Jermaine
you know,
left.
It was a mass exodus of people around that time.
Okay.
Some were moving into different radio stations, some were doing their own thing.
So I don't think sacking.
No. I mean, like I said, that later is in my car right now as we speak. Because of that notion, because we'd been in the media space for a very long time. And if we were taking a walk, finally, I mean, because for me, I was done. That was not how we had to leave.
Okay.
You know, so that day when Peace FM had that conversation
with Kofi Asamoah,
yeah, you know, it was like, okay, where is he coming from? And later we found out that, you know, he's very close to Bola. Mm-hmm. So maybe he was speaking for him. I called Bola and asked him, like, okay, this is what I heard on Peace FM. It's like, oh no, I mean, we can't do that. So I'm like, okay, so as a company, you have to respond to that. We don't even have to respond to it. They never did. It kind of marred our relationship a bit, you know, because I thought what I did was looking out for him. Like, Charlie, let's resolve the issues. Let's cushion the guys, you know. But if he saw it in a bad way, I don't know, you know. But later, the producer of the show told me that Bolare called into the show and spoke to someone.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And he was concerned. He told me, like, if you can quote me, you can mention my name that I said Bola spoke to.
So that was where you let it go.
You know, so I mean, we had already left.
Okay.
But I was highly disappointed, you know, for that notion that we were sacked. Really, no.
Because you were not.
Because we were not sacked.